Hello, my name is Poptsov Sergey. I'm from AFI Distribution, and in this video I will show you all functions of JumpServer Community Edition. JumpServer Community Edition is open source software. It's original from China, from company Fit2Cloud, and but it's fully translated into English language, and all logs, all notifications already in English. And you can easily install it with just one line, so you can find the full instructions on GitHub. So let's go to web interface. First of all, a web interface is split into three parts. It's console for administrating, audits for auditor, and workbench, its area for user. And also we have system settings. So let's start with, I will just show you all options what we have here. So in JustBoard we have like general information about sessions, users, assets, and it's nothing interesting. So let's go to users. Here we can see list of users. Users can be local or can be from Active Directory. Also you can secure your logins with two-factor authentication, integrated two-factor authentication based on TOTP, so like Google Authenticator. Uh, we can just open each user. You can put users in groups for managing them. Here you can see you can enable or disable second factor, and by default, so Community Edition has only three user roles. It's user, it's admin role, and auditor role. So user for accessing target assets, system admin for configuration, and system auditor for viewing sessions, viewing logs, and some and so on so forth. So it's restriction for community version because in enterprise you have custom roles and a lot of other interesting things. So let's continue. Here is groups. You can see that here you can use Active Directory groups, which will be synced from your Active Directory, because you see these names are from Active Directory. So JumpServer supports not only logins from Active Directory, but also group synchronization. So let's go to assets then. Here you can see three of your assets. You can create folders, subfolders, create different nodes, and put your assets devices between these folders, and you can use these folders for managing assets, for giving access not for special device but for all devices in some folders. It's very useful. So you have two views, assets tree or type tree, where they located by types. So how we can create our asset? We just push button create, and here we can see all our supported platforms. For device is generally Cisco, Huawei, or general SSH device. Cloud device is Kubernetes or VMware Sphere to web interface or of VMware. Here is supported databases. Enterprise version has much more supported databases, but community has only this one. It's PostgreSQL, MySQL, MongoDB, Redis, MariaDB. Also, JumpServer Community Edition can connect to web interface. It will run browser in remote app session and automatically logins into this website, filling login form and pushing login button and giving access to end user to this remote session web interface. Also, you have custom for here, for example, for basic authentication web interface. Okay, I don't want to see you how create assets because it's quite simple. Just click OK device, Windows RDP. Here you can enter IP host, name, folder where you can put this device. You can set protocol, maybe change ports if needed. And also here you can create account for connecting to this device. So it's quite very easy interface, very simple. I think I don't need to speak much, a lot of about this. So let's go to zones. Zones, it's a special feature. It's mm, not very, not a lot of clients use this. What are zones in JumpServer? If you have some remote location where you have several devices and these devices are not accessible directly to from JumpServer. So if you need to do one jump through any gateway machine like SSH gateway or RDP gateway, in this case you can use zones. For zones, JumpServer firstly connects, opens connection to target to gateway machine, and then from gateway machine to target device. So it's used only for such remote locations, remote isolated devices. Let's see. But for my experience, mm, no, not many customers use this. But yes, in special cases, special architecture, special infrastructure, it can be useful. And yes. So next, in platforms, here you can see, in short words, it's just templates for RDP connection. So you can see here, for example, Windows or Windows RDP, it's a default platform. If you want to change a port or change default settings for RDP connection, you can just click duplicate, create duplicate platform and change port for another port, as for SSH, for everything. All change or change these options which do pushing accounts, changing secrets, and something else. So platforms here, it's like template for connection to asset. For example, if we go to Linux, where yes, Linux. You can see, for example, you can see SFTP connection here. You can click option and see that by default, SFTP connection moves you to TMP folder. If you want to change this default path, where your SFTP client connects to remote server, you need to create a copy of this platform and change this root folder. Or maybe you want to enable some other options. For example, this is what you can use platforms and custom platforms. So let's go to accounts. Accounts has two different types. In general, it's normal accounts, which also um, so let's say another way. Here you can create account, and your account always connected to some device. So you can't create account without anything. So here you can choose which asset for you can use for the account name, username. It's quite easy. Here you can switch privileged, this account is privileged or not. It means that this account will be used for checking connectivity, for pushing secrets, for some service tasks. If not, this account can be used for service task. And for security type, you can connect to target devices not only with password, also you can use SSH key or token, access key, IP key, but it's like two main types are password or SSH key. Okay, so and another type of accounts is virtual accounts. What are general accounts? It's accounts with passwords which will be stored inside JumpServer database. It's encrypted and yeah, and so on and so forth. Virtual accounts are accounts like dynamic users, manual input, and anonymous account. It's so it names virtual accounts because it's like options how users can log in to target system. So for example, we can allow users to use only saved accounts inside system, or we can allow users to connect with manual input. So in this case, users need to enter login and password for target assets manually. The dynamic users its ability to connect to target assets with the same account as user is logged in JumpServer. It's like if you log in to JumpServer under John, then you can connect to target device also under the same account John, for example. Next one, it's templates. You can use templates for if you want to use the same password, for example, for several devices, several accounts. It's like template account for having the same service account and service password for all Linux devices, for example, something like. And also you can push this account to automatically push the service account to target devices. Push means that JumpServer will automatically create this account by this template on target systems. And yes, in automations, the only ability you have in Community Edition is only pushing accounts. It's pushing means create accounts on target systems. Next is authorization. It's main page, main policy, where you can set which user can connect to which devices. So here it's quite simple. You can select users or you can select groups of users. You can select assets or you can select assets folders. You can choose all existing account or you want to allow special account for connecting to target devices. And also here you can select if user can connect to devices with manual entering login and password with the same account or anonymous account. It's basically usage for access to web interfaces. So protocol restrictions, you can use all protocols or restrict by connections to by only SSH or only RDP and something else. Here is file transfer. You can see that you can allow or block file transfer or clipboard based on direction, and it works only RDP SFTP or RDP VNC protocol. So JumpServer can block or you can allow file transfer based on direction, and also each transferred files will be saved inside JumpServer, so you will see what user transferred. You can open this file to check it, and so it's quite good and useful feature. And that's all. Also, you can set date start and date expired for this policy. And in next one, in access list, you can have only one access list. It's common filter. Common filter works for SSH or for database queries only. In first of all, you create common groups. Here you enter your comments or regular expressions, and then you create rule for special users or for all users, for assets or all assets, for all accounts or special accounts, and add here common groups which will be were created in last step. And you can reject comments, accept, warn, like notificate administrator about usage of this comment, and notify and warn. So notify user that this comment is bad and warn administrator that user runs a special comment. So this is all about administrating. You can see that it's quite easy. Create user, create asset, and so let's go to I think next one. I think Workbench. So in Workbench, it's user interface. Here user can see assets where he has access. Also, he can view accounts, view three of device. Also, here he can use file transfer without running session. He can, for example, he can select several devices. Say which account you use to connect to these devices, and drag and drop here files. And in this case, all these selected devices will receive this special file. It's very useful and very simple if user need to do the same job for many many devices, like to put and run script on 10 machines, for example. Also, yes, you have a special interface for the file transfer. In Job Center, here you can what user can do. User can create his own scripts on PowerShell, Python, MySQL, MariaDB for database. It's like user-defined scripts. Also, a user can create here Ansible playbooks. And then in here he can run these scripts automatically on selected machines, see output of scripts, result of scripts. Also, he can create a job list for these scripts or for Ansible playbook, and also run scripts for here. So it's additional feature what a user can do. Not only connect to target assets, and sure, user can access to target devices. I will show you how it works. He can click here icon on the top web terminal, or he can click these icons. So here, this is main interface, like connection manager. It's a part of JumpServer, second part of JumpServer. Here you can see another tree of devices, the same tree with devices, and quite easy. You click device and select how you want to connect to this. What types of connections are available in Community Edition? For SSH, you can connect via web interface. You can see. Next one, you can use SSH client. Now party will be started, you see, and it's not in web interface, it's a local party. Next one, you can use SSH guide. What happens now? Here you can see connection string, so you can just get connection string from web interface and copy paste to your client which you prefer, and you connect to target machine through PAM with here you can see password, username, and these are one-time password with short lifetime. And also you have second command, and here is command which you can add to your manager, connection manager, for example Mobexterm or something like that. And each time you click on this connection, system will ask you only for a password from JumpServer account, not from target machine. So this line is for fast connection to target device. This line for adding this in connection manager for accessing this later. Also how we can connect to JumpServer to SSH. We can connect to JumpServer Linux terminal. It's integrated Linux terminal, and for example, P to display assets you have permission. Press P, and then I can select number where I want to connect. For example, 8. Yes, as with which protocol 1, and with which account. For example, Sam. This way is how to connect Linux devices without web interface, only from SSH console. It's also accessible from Community Edition. So, for RDP, let's see. I forgot to say. Here you can see selected account if you have account with storage with saved password. Also you can select here manual input, for example, and write here username, write here password, and access to target system with through PAM, but with manual input of target machine. Also for SSH you can use SFTP. Let's go to saved account. SFTP you can use for file transfer. You have integrated file transfer client, you can see it here, or you can run file transfer client on local, for example, WinSCP. You can see we'll connect it. It's outside web interface. It's standard local WinSCP. Okay, this is how it works for Linux devices. For RDP. For RDP, I can connect to RDP from web browser. Okay, it's RDP, you can see, and that's all. Because RDP connection through through standard RDP client, it's available only in enterprise version. But what can we use in web RDP? You have here this option. Here you can send special case. You can open file transfer for RDP. You can open clipboard transfer or share settings. So RDP in web browser, fully functional. You can transfer files. All files will be logged, and also JumpServer will record video of your RDP session. That's all. Let's go to next. Next, for example, is how it connects to database. For database, for example, for MySQL, we can connect with WebCLI. It's integrated command line interface. It's not very interesting, so it works. Next one, we can log in with web integrated web graphical interface, and it's much more interesting because it looks like standard interface for working with databases. In most of cases, it's enough for sending queries, get login, get results, see tables, see data, and so on and so forth. So it's very good that it has an integrated interface for database connection. If you want to, yes, also you can install, for example, dbeaver on RDS server, and JumpServer will connect to this dbeaver and log in, but it's through remote app. Also, this is all you have in Community Edition for databases, but in Enterprise you will have ability to use your local dbeaver or SQL developer or Workbench or any other application, because Enterprise Edition also supports database proxy, so you can use local application for database to connect to your database asset with hiding password of target system, control queries, and something else. Okay, and yes, also we can connect from JumpServer to Kubernetes to web interfaces with automatically filling passwords. Um, so it's but so so Community Edition, JumpServer Community Edition supports most popular connection to remote machines. It's RDP, SSH, it's databases, it's web interfaces, and you have file transfer control via SFTP. So it's like base for PAM, and it's open source, it's free, so it's wonderful, I think. So let's go to audits, I think. In audits, you can, as I saw, you can see your online sessions, you can view it online, you can terminate this session, you have list of recorded session which you can play, download, video the session, and something else. Here is session comments. Maybe you can see comments, but there is no lot of comments because it's test environment. I have much more interesting in enterprise installation. Here is file transfer. As I said, you can see file which was transferred, who it was downloaded from this account, from this user, and I can download this file and see what was this file, and then you have some activity logs, logins, password changing, operation. It's not so interesting. And last thing I want to show you in JumpServer Community Edition, it's system settings. What we have here, yes, you have some like notifications. It's not very interesting. Integration with mail server. As I said, you have integration settings for LDAP, so you can synchronize your users with some Active Directory groups and allow users to log in on the Active Directory account. You can use storage because not main, but a big problem for PAM systems, privilege account systems, it's storage for video sessions because it's a lot of gigabytes, a lot of it's quite hard to store sessions. So JumpServer Community Edition supports such files, such types of storage. Sure, by default, it will store your files, your video session files locally in your virtual machine. But you can use S3, Ceph, Swift, OSR, Azure, OBS, and so on so forth. It's very good because you can install open source min.io for storing sessions and store all sessions in this software-defined storage. Also, you can use you can set additional common storage. By default, command stored in main database, but you can store it in Elastic for additional monitoring, analysis, and something like that. And why object storage is very useful. Community Edition can be easily installed as a cluster, availability cluster, many servers, and all of these servers can put all video data to the same video storage without duplication between all storages. And you can view any video session from any JumpServer installation because they have the same video storage, and it's very powerful. And also in many corporate PAMs, you don't have this option. But yes, here you can use software-defined storage. What we have here, components, it's like technical stuff. And here it's very important thing. You can't connect web interfaces directly because JumpServer needs some environment where to start browser in the related container, for example. Community Edition supports only one option. It's connection to remote app machine, where you can publish web browsers, database clients, another clients, another applications, what you want. But in 99% of cases, yes, it's a web browser which used for accessing to web interfaces, which automatically filling login passwords and something like that. So Community Edition support database publishing on RDS with remote app, and here you can set this. Let's go to security. Here, as I said, you have integrated second factor. You can enable it, not enable, or enable for all users. And OTP is your name. So it's also very important thing because you don't need to think how additional to protect your access to PAM system because it's already integrated. Not all paid PAM systems has integrated second factor, but JumpServer has, and it's open source. You can see that it's open source, GPL, GitHub, nothing. So I think it was interesting for you, and I think we see you in next videos. Bye bye.